So Charlamagne the God finally clapped back at DJ Akademiks after getting exposed all last week. And dog, I genuinely wish I could say this was good. I'm so goddamn disappointed, bro. This response, straight trash. Not even close to what I wanted from the God. My biggest issue with this whole thing, and I mean my biggest issue, is that this man came across as straight up cowardly. Like, scary even. Charlamagne really out here playing dumb, acting like he don't know what's going on while trying to pull these weak-ass psychological games on Akademiks to be manipulative. And look, if you're gonna go that route, if you're gonna play mind games, you gotta actually be good at it, dog. You can't just half-step this. You can't bring sloppy work to a chess match. You can't make your whole agenda and narrative so painfully obvious that everybody and their grandma can see exactly what you're doing. You gotta construct that thing. You gotta build it so tight, so clean that it doesn't even hit people until the very end, like a trap that snaps shut at the last second. But this? Nah, dog. I clocked exactly what Charlamagne was trying to pull within the first sentence. The first sentence, bro. That's not a mind game. That's embarrassing. So here's the context you need to understand what's actually going on. Akademiks TV spent basically all of last week just unloading on Charlamagne, digging up old accusations, resurfacing old stories. We're talking about stuff like the mother and daughter situation from Charlamagne's hometown, where she's accusing him of doing things to her when she was like 15. We're talking about Charlamagne praying for R. Kelly, just dragging up a whole lot of old history. Now, a lot of this stuff, we already knew about it. A lot of it had already been processed in the court of public opinion. This wasn't breaking news. This was deliberate excavation. But here's where it all started. Akademiks declared war on all the media guys because he felt like they were collectively hating on him. And what set the whole thing off was Charlamagne actually calling Akademiks, trying to give him a heads up, letting him know that people were sending private spies overseas, taking pictures of Grand Wizard Chat Ninja outside his own home. Now, most people would see that as a solid move, right? Like, yo, I'm looking out for you. But Akademiks was not having it because Akademiks made his position crystal clear. He told Charlamagne straight up, there are no bystanders in this. You cannot come relate to me the evil things these people are doing and then turn around and go right back to being cool with them. That ain't a good Samaritan move in his eyes. That's sitting on the fence. Akademiks literally said, I'm not doing the DJ Khaled thing. No neutral ground. No, I love everybody. If you know what they're doing to me and you're still riding with them, then it's F you too. Simple as that.
Yesterday, not gonna lie, I was saddened. Unfortunately, I had to declare war on the entire hip-hop media. It's not necessarily me, but I had to take the gloves off. My team, my people, at the end of the day, I gotta pick who's aligned with me, and the people who rock with me, they're the people I gotta protect. They've been targeted, harassed. We don't know about who. We gonna find out at some point. And I've been kind of holding them back for the majority part for almost a year. Keep in mind, these are, if y'all think I'm nasty, these people are worse. Birds of a feather, right? So, yeah, it was kind of saddening yesterday because, with the constant harassment that's been coming towards the team for like damn near a year, I had to tell him, I said, listen, the gloves is off. Do what y'all got to do. You know what I mean? If whoever, and I don't know who it is, if they not playing fair, let's make sure we don't play fair.
And this is exactly why you got to respect AK, because this man is not hiding nothing. He laid his whole hand on the table for everybody to see. Like, he literally said it himself, I declare war on hip-hop media. Charlamagne came and brought me this information, but then went right back to chilling with the same people who are trying to destroy me. So as far as AK is concerned, he's not a bystander. He picked a side by not picking a side. So everybody can get it. All y'all can eat a D. It's war. And immediately after that, Akademiks TV launched their whole campaign against Charlamagne. No delays, no warnings, straight into it. Now, I could have acted like I didn't know what was happening behind the scenes, but AK himself came out and said, yo, I was holding them back for a whole year. A whole year, dog. And then he took the gloves off. So think about what that means. If AK had the power to hold them back this whole time, and then he steps aside and says, I'm not stopping them anymore, that's damn near a green light. That's basically saying, go get them. And AK was honest about that. Didn't sugarcoat it one bit. But here's the problem. When Charlamagne finally responds, instead of just keeping it a buck, instead of saying, yeah, I moved funny, Akademiks didn't like it, his people came after me, and he let it happen, this man tried to play naive. He tried to play dumb, while simultaneously spending a solid 30 minutes putting Akademiks' allegations and his ops narratives on full blast, but framing it like he's doing AK a favor, like he's looking out for him. Nah, dog. Nah. You spent half an hour spreading the exact allegations that Akademiks' enemies been trying to push, and you want to package it as concern? That's not looking out for somebody. That's burying somebody with a smile on your face. This is one of the most manipulative things I've seen Charlamagne pull in a minute. But dog, I don't think it landed the way he expected, because I feel like everybody watching caught on almost immediately. The move was too obvious. The fingerprints were all over it.
Trying to make a war between me and Akademiks. Did you see that?
I didn't know there was a war between you guys. I thought it was like you were like saying, hey, be careful, look out. I thought you were looking out for him.
Well, yes, I gave.
Is that not what he said?
Yeah.
You want me to play it first?
Oh yeah, you can play. Play what Akademiks said.
Shout my man Charlamagne. He gave me a call. He said, "Act, this was going around. I seen it." So what? Where'd it come from? I don't know. Oh, okay. Charlotte, if I wasn't supposed to air you out on that, it's okay. But listen, I got to get to the bottom of this. I hear Laura LaRosa got it in the background. What Laura LaRosa got? What? Like for anything, I like to address things head on. But with that, you know, I don't like doing proxy wars. I like to just kick it off. I tell all y'all either. When there is entities that's plotting against me, don't be the messenger. You either with me or against me. No DJ Khaled's around my book. No DJ Khaled's around my book. Get the f*** away.
So you can stop it here.
Oh, so he's saying you need to pick a side? Is that what's being communicated?
What?
Dog, Charlamagne really out here acting like he has no idea what's going on. Like he's completely lost. Like he genuinely cannot comprehend what Akademiks was saying. But here's the thing. Andrew Schultz figured it out on one listen. One single listen, dog. Andrew Schultz heard what Akademiks said and immediately went, yo, bro, he's telling you straight up, you will not be spared. You don't get to play both sides. You don't get to float in the middle like none of this is happening. Andrew Schultz got it instantly. A man who ain't even that deep in this whole situation. He heard it once and understood exactly what was being communicated. So you're telling me Charlamagne the God, a man who has been in this industry for decades, a man who built his whole brand on being sharp and reading people, couldn't pick up on what Andrew Schultz caught in 60 seconds? Nah, dog, I refuse to believe that. Charlamagne fully understands what led to Akademiks TV running that campaign against him. He knows exactly what happened and why it happened. But instead of just addressing it head on like a grown man, he's playing dumb. Actively, deliberately playing dumb. And honestly, dog, that's almost more disrespectful than just owning it. Because at least owning it shows you got some backbone. I don't understand it. I genuinely don't. And listen, let's be very clear about something. Charlamagne the God is not dumb. This man is sharp. This man is calculated. And he is petty. Do not get it twisted. So here's what he's actually doing underneath all this I'm playing confused energy. While he's got his naive mask on, he's simultaneously about to levy the exact same allegations against Akademiks that Akademiks' enemies have been trying to make stick for years. The same ones, word for word. But here's the sinful pit, directly. Nah, dog. Charlamagne is too calculated for that. Instead, he's gonna hide it behind this whole I'm exposing the people around Akademiks because I care about him angle. Like he's doing AK a service. But what he's actually doing is dog whistling. He's speaking on these allegations in a way that plants the seed that implies Akademiks is guilty while never technically saying it outright. So if anybody calls him out, he can go, whoa, whoa, I never said that. I'm looking out for my friend. Nah, dog, we see it. We see exactly what's happening here. You're taking Jeremy Hatch's allegations, Akademiks' own ops, and you're laundering them through a concerned friend framing. He's indicting Akademiks while smiling in his face saying, AK is my friend, bro. We know what you're doing in this video, Charlamagne. We know.
Here's the thing. I gave Akademiks a heads up because Akademiks has done that for me before. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Akademiks has reached out to me before.
Yeah.
To say, hey, I don't know if you see what's happening over here, but such and such is doing this, such and such is doing that. Oh, hey, you know what? Good looking, right? So I was returning the favor. And you know, usually, man, stuff comes across the desk all the time. We do media, right? So in media, you get tips, anonymous tips. I got so many files on so many different people. I don't know if things are true. I'm just saying that these things come across the desk, right? Usually, there's a lot of stuff that I ignore. This was one I was like, you know what? I'm gonna reach out on. And I don't know if I reached out through text before Jeremy Heck said what he said or after.
Jeremy Hecht?
Yeah, let's play what Jeremy Heck said. Because Jeremy Heck accused Akademiks of taking money from
Who's Jeremy Heck?
politicians.
By the head of Truth Social.
Jeremy, I got $100,000 for you if you provide that.
Let me read some receipts. November 14th, 2025. Chris Pavlovsky sent a payment to Livingston Allen for $8,804. And another one on December 23rd, 2025 for $1,234. That's almost $10K. Technically, that's only a tenth of what you would owe me. I won't put it on screen, but you can go double check the PayPal act. Now, I know you want to act all confused and Google it.
Now, I don't know if I texted him before this or after, but I do remember when I saw this, I said, oh, shoot, let me hear that. Because what came across our desk was the same information, but not that. It just was like this spreadsheet that was like, yo, DJ Akademiks takes money from music people and media people and, you know, political people. And also they take money to spread false narratives about folks, like, do these smear campaigns and things of that nature. And that wasn't even what I was really calling him to get a heads up on, because Ak will tell you himself. Ak was like, yeah, I take money to, from music people. Like, that's not a secret. The political stuff he said he didn't know anything about. Whatever. The reason I called Ak, and Ak said, I think that he asked me who was behind it, and I said I couldn't tell him. That's not true. I said I don't know, but I would find out. But what I did tell him was that these three individuals, Carson McCoy, another guy named Alex Ocha, and George Nguyen. How you pronounce it, Chris? It's Vietnamese name.
Nguyen.
Nguyen is the closest, yeah.
George, he's that's grandmother, and he is from Australia. What we were told was the Carson kid and George were getting investigated, got pressed by investigators, and cooperated.
No, not Grandy.
And told and said that they get their marching orders from Akademiks and Drake.
So here's the allegations that Akademiks' enemies have been pushing. They're claiming that Akademiks is being bankrolled by these super dark foreign entities paid specifically to destroy people's lives, slander them, defame them. Stuff that Akademiks has flatly denied. And to me personally, there's no truth to this whatsoever. And then it gets even more unhinged because the full aluminum foil conspiracy version of this says that Drake owns Akademiks TV, that Drake is literally brokering payments to Akademiks, Grand Wizard, George, the whole team, paying them to slander and defame people, and allegedly the way the money is being moved is illegal. Dog, if you genuinely believe Drake is running Akademiks TV, I don't know what to tell you, bro. You are out of your mind. But, and this is the important part, Akademiks' enemies have been trying to make this narrative stick for a while now. And Charlamagne, he spends the next 30 minutes essentially building a full indictment around why everybody should believe these allegations. And here's where the dog whistling gets really slick. He starts talking about how people are cooperating against Akademiks, cooperating against them. Think about that language for a second. How do you cooperate against someone who's innocent? What exactly are you cooperating about? And then he says, when the investigators came, they folded and told them that Akademiks is the one giving direct marching orders. Dog, they folded. They told the investigators. That is snitch language. That is federal case language. And you cannot use that language about an innocent person without implying they're guilty of something. Because how do you snitch on somebody who did nothing wrong? You can't. And Charlamagne knows exactly what he's doing by framing it that way. He's indicting AK while hiding behind, I'm just exposing the people around him. Nah, bro, that's not gonna work. Akademiks saw right through it, clearly. And then there's this manipulation that I need to highlight specifically. These people keep talking about this investigation like it's some massive federal operation, like the government is involved, like the feds are circling. No, dog, stop it. This is TDE. This is Rock Nation. These are private companies paying private investigators with absolutely zero legal authority to stalk people. That is literally all this is. This is not the FBI. This is not the government. This is not law enforcement of any kind. Private companies, private investigators, stalking people, full stop. But they deliberately use words like investigation, official investigation, to make your brain go to a place where you think Akademiks must be doing something deeply illegal or dark or criminal. And they do that on purpose, because if they just said, yeah, some private investigators hired by a label are following people around, nobody's scared of that. Nobody thinks Akademiks is a criminal over that, so they dress it up in federal language to manipulate your perception. And that right there, that tells you everything you need to know about how honest this whole thing actually is.
I don't know if this is true. I don't know if it's not true. I'm just...
Grant is Vietnamese?
What? Is he? He lives in Australia. Yo, I sent Ag the pictures they sent us of him, and Ag goes, who is this? And I go, they say this is the George Grand Wizard dude. And then he was like, what? I thought he was skinny. And so I guess when he sent Grand the pictures, Grand confirmed, like, yeah, man, I got these pictures sent to me, a few months ago. So I was just calling Ag to give him a heads up, and I said, yo, you might need to watch the people around you. He wrote this article.
Is this alleged, by the way? Like, are we...
Well, this is an article from Australia. It says the rapper, the crypto billionaire, and the Instagram mystery man. The Instagram mystery man is Grand with the aka George in the win, or whoever it is. Now, Ag told me that the dude Carson
hilarious.
Ag told me that the dude Carson used to work for him.
Even more hilarious now that I know these Vietnamese.
Yes, it's insane. You should put a picture up, but Ag told me that. What's his name? You report his name?
It is Kishore Napir Rahman.
Kishore Napir Rahman apparently have been doing this story. Like, he writes for like a newspaper out there in Australia. So apparently this was a big deal. Like, they came to Grand Wizard's house, aka George the Win, and was talking to his parents and was talking to him. And this is all allegedly. Him and the dude Carson were cooperating and just told him, hey, we do these things because of these two individuals, Akademiks and Drake. Once again, I don't know if this is true or not. I just decided to tell Ak what was going on.
The other person.
They just said that they're cooperating, and they said that the two people they get their marching orders from was Akademiks and Drake.
But are they so they're cooperating against?
That's what it sounded like to me.
And we know this is true, or this is all alleged right now?
I'm just showing you what they said. They said it's been an investigation. And we were told that Carson used to run Akademiks TV, but now, allegedly, George and Drake run Akademiks TV. Now, I told Ak all of this last
Akademiks TV is a...
It's like a Twitter page that is crazy. Like, they go crazy on people. Like, they just say the wild
okay.
like they say the wild about people. So this is apparently, this is allegedly George right here. that's a grand right there.
The GOAT, bro. The GOAT.
So
nah,
that's apparently him. Now, but by the way, it gets crazier, right? So
yo, George, stay true, George.
But here's where it gets real interesting, because in this same video, Charlamagne keeps repeating it multiple times. Drake and AK own Akademiks TV. Drake and AK own it. Drake and AK own it. We got intel. Drake and AK own it. Okay, cool. He keeps saying it over and over like he's building a case. But then, when Andrew Schultz turns around and asks him, well, if Akademiks TV was running this whole campaign against you for a week, what are you going to do about it? Suddenly, Charlamagne goes quiet. Suddenly, it's no, 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 no. Because he's scary, dog. That's why. He'll spend 30 minutes putting allegations on AK in the video, but the second somebody asks him directly what he's gonna do about it, nothing. Radio silence. Because this whole thing was never about confrontation. It was about manipulation. And you can see the double game he's running. On one hand, he's loading up these allegations against Akademiks. On the other hand, he keeps slipping in, AK, we cool, bro. AK, we cool. Hey, bro, you a goat in this, man. You one of the guys, bro. Stop moving scary. Dog, Dog, you really spent half an hour trying to bury this man and then threw in a "we cool bro" at the end like that cancels everything out? I know exactly what that is. That's a safety net. Just in case Akademiks watches this and that demon, that crazy energy starts getting in his head, Charlamagne wants a little, "hey bro, we cool," planted in there as insurance. That's not friendship, that's strategy. And I need to say this clearly. If AK is genuinely your homie, you do not come on your podcast and spend 30 minutes presenting these allegations like they're credible. You do not frame private investigators hired by labels as official investigators. You do not use language like "they cooperated" and "they folded," because what that does is make people think, "oh, word? They told the truth to the feds? They can't lie to the feds?" That's what goes through people's heads when you use that language. And Charlamagne knows that. He knows exactly what that language does to public perception. And then, as if all of that wasn't enough, Charlamagne goes out of his way to give credibility to the allegations that politicians are paying AK. Even though Akademiks already debunked this, already debunked it, showed the receipts, showed that the payments were from his Rumble deal, proved that this had nothing to do with Trump paying him for endorsements. AK laid it all out. Here's the money. Here's where it came from. Here's the Rumble deal. Done. But Charlamagne the God will still sit there and entertain the possibility that politicians are bankrolling Akademiks, presenting it like it might actually be true, even after the receipts have already been shown. Nah, dog, that's not a friend giving you the benefit of the doubt. That's an opponent using a friendly face as cover. We see it.
I really don't. I think he's affiliated with some people that he may not know everything that
they're up to.
Because there's lawsuits like that. There's lawsuits that Act just got added to, right? Like involving Drake and Steak and all types of other, the dude George is also in those lawsuits as well.
Okay.
And I just think that that guy might be involved in some things that Act may not know about. Act put me onto the whole Clipper game, even though I knew what the Clippers were, but they really roll like a mob and a mafia. And he is really, 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 really in control of these individuals. So either Act knows what's going on and he's playing me and I'm naive, or he has no idea. No idea. And the crypto accounts are flagged too.
The crypto accounts, what does that mean?
I don't know. I'm just telling you what was sent to us. So I'm relaying this messaging. But then I see the lawsuits about, the crypto with Stake and all of that and everything. And I'm like, all right, they got some other going on over there. So I let Act know about what the going on. So there's no issue between me and Akademiks. Or maybe I'm just being naive. You know what I mean?
think
but Grand,
he's
Akademiks TV?
He's innocent.
No,
Randy, you're innocent.
Nah.
Randy, you're innocent. He's a victim. He's a victim in all this.
I don't know if he's innocent of these allegations that he's being accused of, but he be wilding on Akademiks TV. And that's the thing I told Akademiks too. Akademiks was like, yo, these guys, man, they're
I follow Akademiks TV on Twitter. I follow I Am Akademiks.
Yeah.
I follow Akademiks on Instagram.
Yeah, Act was like, these guys, my guys are being exposed, and people are doxing my guys, and they're coming after him. No, Act on social media talking crazy about people.
Oh, and the chickens are coming on the roost?
The chickens are coming on the roost. You can't do that. You can't throw rocks and hide your hand, but I guess you can if you hide behind avatars of Akademiks, right? And say your name is Grant with a chat. But now that your name is actually out there, George Nguyen or whatever it is, and people are actually coming to your house, talking to you and your parents. People in Australia are writing articles about what's going on. Think you might want to relax. Think you might want to take a step back and be like, yo, this is getting a bit too much. Because at the worst, I see I can see like heavy lawsuits, that cost you a lot of money. And I don't know what the ramifications are with political things. I do know that when you post political stuff on social media and you're endorsing people, you have to tell people that you got paid for it.
You have to disclose payments.
Every single time. You can't just make a broad statement like, I got paid by Republic. Every single time you do a post that's political that you got paid for, you have to disclose that.
That's probably a good rule.
And here's the part that really ties it all together. A week ago, just 1 week ago, Jeremy Hatch put out a 2 or 3 minute video accusing Akademiks of being paid by politicians. That's it. That's where this came from. And now here's Charlamagne 1 week later, dog whistling those exact same accusations on his podcast. The same ones. Almost word for word, but dressed up in this concerned friend packaging. And it ain't subtle either, because think about who has actually done interviews with Donald Trump Jr. Think about who has actually been in the same room as Trump. That's Akademiks, not George Nguyen, not Grand Wizard, AK. So when Charlamagne starts hinting at politicians paying people, dog, we know exactly who that's pointed at. Don't act like that's a general statement. And then Charlamagne tries to do this thing where he goes, you know these media dudes, I don't know, bro. Listen, maybe that's why me and AK get along so well, because we want the same things. Bro, you literally just spent 30 minutes trying to bury this man, and now you out here talking about how y'all are kindred spirits? Come on. But then he says, if it's up, it's up. If it's smoke, it's smoke. Nah, dog. You don't get to spend half an hour being slick and manipulative and then hit us with the I don't mince words energy. Because that whole video was mincing words. That was nothing but mincing words wrapped in a bow. And that is exactly why we appreciate Akademiks. Because AK wears his emotions on his sleeve. What you see is what you get. He told you he declared war. He told you why. He told you nobody gets a pass. No hidden agenda, no dog whistles. Straight up. And speaking of AK, he responded. He responded directly to Charlamagne's little attempt to get him to turn on Grand Wizard Chat Ninja. And here's what Akademiks had to say.
Number one, I'm telling you, I don't believe it. Okay, I've talked to these people. And by the way, I hate the fact that he even put that into the air because there's nothing to snitch about. What all this inquiry is a civil case. There's no criminal. Second of all, I felt like it was a weak attempt to divide and conquer. I told y'all, I'm the most loyal media. If you ever see my downfall, you're going to say I was a little bit too loyal. And it's okay. That's my tragic flaw. Okay? I give people too many chances. It's always been in my life. What Charlamagne then starts to do in our conversation is to say, he's trying to turn me against Grand Wizard. Say, yo, bro, you sure? How much you know him? And I told him straight up, I said, I trust Grand Wizard with everything. Straight up, like, you want me to say, like, you think I'm like some like weakling that's gonna be like, man, I don't really know him. I trust everything you're talking about. Then, you know, and this is why, and I'll say this publicly because I would say to Charlamagne privately. Charlamagne, I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't think necessarily this was your plan necessarily, but y'all wanted me to turn against my guys. I'm not doing that. They told me even, they were like, oh, I ain't gonna lie, man, these guys, they doing a lot of crypto, blah, blah. Grand Wizard getting paid millions. Like, yo, we seen the payments from da-da-da. Like, you got paid a couple $100,000. Grand Wizard got paid millions. I said, bro, like, first of all, I am a pocket watcher, but I'm like, how I heard that was to say, how is Grand Wizard making more money than me? It was a way to turn me against someone who I trust. You get what I'm saying? Like, they're saying, oh, we have the documents to say that Grand Wizard gets millions of dollars and the money that you've gotten paid out from certain isn't millions of dollars. And that was supposed to turn me against him. No.
And Akademiks saw right through it. Every single bit of it. But here's what I really want to say about Charlamagne. And this comes from a real place. If I'm Charlamagne the God right now, I'm distancing myself from these conglomerates, bro. The rock nations, the corporate machines. Like, yeah, they made you a millionaire. Nobody's taking that away, but dog. When Charlamagne was coming up, that man was different. Like, genuinely different. He was the rebellious one. He was saying what needed to be said with zero corporate interest, zero agenda, just a free spirit speaking his mind and saying the things everybody was thinking but was too scared to say out loud. Now, it feels like Charlamagne the God is the corporate man. Like somewhere along the way, the rebel became the establishment. And that's a tough thing to watch happen to somebody you grew up respecting. And I think a big part of the problem is who he's got around him. Because I don't feel like Charlamagne has the right young voices in his circle, the right up-and-comers who will actually put him on game, who will tell him straight up, bro, this is how people are perceiving you right now. This is what the streets are saying. The people he's got around him right now, they're still deeply embedded in that same corporate hip-hop media infrastructure, the iHearts, the Rock Nations. So nobody's pulling him aside and keeping it 100 with him. Like, compare that to somebody like a young AK, independent, grinding, ear to the streets, actually understanding what's going on in real time. That energy is what Charlamagne is missing in his circle right now. And look, I fully understand why Charlamagne wanted to respond. People were playing with his name. That's valid. You got every right to respond to that. But dog, this response, this would have hit so much harder if he just came straight to the table and put everything out in the open. No games, no manipulation, no dog whistles. Just straight up, here's what happened, here's where I stand, let's go. Instead, he tried to hide behind narratives, tried to manipulate AK into dropping Grand Wizard on behalf of TDE and Rock Nation. Like, bro, that is nuts to me. That is genuinely nuts. Nah, dog. Straight up don't work, then nothing works. That's just the reality of it. But yo, let me know in the comments what you think about all this, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you want more videos like this. Until then, stay tuned.